right, we'll do it with the light on.
I don't think we can go through with this.
Well, do you mind if I start with that?
I mean, I just don't do one-night stands.
Well, I wish you'd told me before. This is the Heathrow Grange Hotel, you know. These rooms don't come cheap. I didn't want to sleep here.
That's a horrible thing to say.
Is it? Oh, well, I'm only joking. I'm renowned in Westminster for my sense of humour. And for my enormous majority. And for my incredible virility. And Vicky, this isn't a one-nighter. This is a first-nighter. I love you. I've loved you ever since the Sloane Girl Temp Bureau sent you into my life. Yesterday.
Do you really mean that?
Of course I do. How was it for you?
How was what? Oh, that. Well, it was, different.
Really? In what way different? Sexier? Chunkier? Bigger?
Quicker.
Yes, because it was quick. I mean, I'm a busy man. I don't have time to waste. Besides, what is this obsession with quantity over quality? I mean, orgasm is the objective, isn't it? Magazines my wife reads are full of articles about how to have orgasms. The way they're printing them in Farmers Weekly is beyond me. Well, I've never had any problem on the climax front. Whoops, I've just another one. I wonder what's on the telly.
Alan, did you really mean it when you said you loved me?
Oh, of course. Well, when I said I loved you, I really meant it.
Only I've never been to bed with a married man before. Well, not unless you count Daddy.
Shh! That's my favourite dad.
Alan, I'm so glad you do love me, because I forgot to tell you I'm not on the pill. Well, I was on the pill, but then I put on 2 stone, got spots, and no one fancied me. Oh, Alan, what would you do if I got pregnant?
Oh, well, I'd leave my wife and marry you, of course. Thanks for keeping my place, Piers. Overslept. You know what it's like when you're in the sack all night, boffing some insatiable little sex pot. And, of course, you wouldn't know what that's like at all, would you?
Hey, bastard, there is a queue here, you know.
It's all right, Crippen. It's an airliner, not a corporation trum. There are plenty of seats for everyone. Though why you're going to a conference on farming is beyond me. You represent an inner-city slum, don't you?
Even my constituents are allowed to eat.
Are they? What a shame.
If this terminal wasn't patrolled by heavily armed members of your anti-terrorist squad, I'd give you a good smack for that.
Well, there you are, Izzy. There's the voice of the modern Labour Party. Thinly veiled political thuggery.
Do you like hospital food, pal?
I love it, but then, of course, I'm in Bupa. Oh, good morning.
Good morning. And your passport, please, Herr Bestard.
I'm sure I had it last night.
I'm afraid there's rather a long queue. Would you mind stepping aside?
Yes, yes, as Hitler said to Chamberlain before he invaded Poland. Listen, my dear, I am Alan Bastard, MP. I've got the largest majority in the House of Commons, and I'm attending a conference on a subject very close to the German soul, namely pig meat. I don't need a passport. We won the war.
And much good it did you. Next, please.
Look, Fräulein, I can vouch for him.
Yes, and who will vouch for you?
Oh, well, Alan will vouch for me. Right, that's it. I demand to see the airport manager, or the airport Führer, or whatever you call him.
I'm afraid Mr. Goering is unavailable. He's busy pillaging the art galleries of Eastern Europe. Smoking or non-smoking?
Perhaps it's in your case. What? Your passport? No. Oh, God. I must have left it at home in Yorkshire. Damn.
Well, at least have a look.
No, it's not in here.
Well, it might be. I'm always losing things and finding them in unexpected places.
Yes, that's because you're a congenital idiot, Piers.
200,000 shares in Ocelot Motors. I can't believe it.
At today's share price, you're virtually a millionaire. And it couldn't have happened to a nicer person.
Yes, it could. But I'm glad it didn't. I hardly even knew Uncle Luke. I never imagined he was still alive.
He isn't.
No, of course not. Poor old Stiffy. Where are you going?
To work, darling. I mean, we don't all have dead Uncle Lukes, and I am still Alan's political agent.
You won't be when I've finished with him.
What on earth do you mean by that?
I can afford to leave him now. Nice, messy divorce with lots of unwelcome publicity for him.
Aren't you being a little vindictive, darling?
Yeah, he deserves it. He cheats on me.
We cheat on him.
That's different. We love each other.
And then, when they found out that Piers' AIDS test was positive, they sent us all home. Yes, that's the one. Of course, it's simple. Like the Mwah! Now, I know what you're thinking. Yeah. What's Alan doing back so early from the conference? Well, you're not going to believe this. Last month, we all had routine blood tests, and Piers, of all people, turns out to be a raving...
You left it in your bedside drawer.
Oh, I know about that, darling. Under the March 1987 amendment to the European Community Travel Agreement, members of Parliament on official business don't actually need to carry the passport.
Shut up, Alan. I'm not Piers. I mean, why don't you just admit that you spent last night in some airport hotel with some little typist, for whom I feel nothing but the deepest pity?
Oh. I see. Well, if you prefer to think the worst, Sarah, rather than listen to my perfectly logical explanation, quite frankly, I don't know how this marriage is going to survive.
It isn't. I've just inherited £1 million, and I'm going to divorce you.
Yes?
Edwina Curry likes it hot and spicy. That's a comfortable, isn't it? You know you've been real crap,
Of course. That's the whole object of the exercise.
How do you mean?
Well, it's all a matter of perception. You see a capped-out ambulance immobilised by vindictive traffic wardens. I see 100 square feet of prime office space in Park Lane, £50 a day, no rate. Now, about your divorce.
Are you wearing makeup?
Just a hint of mascara.
That's very nice. It suits you. Sorry, go on, Norman.
Well, as soon as you told me about the divorce, I transferred all your assets to the one country where even the bank accounts of known criminals are safe from official scrutiny.
Vatican City.
Precisely. So your wife won't be able to get her hands on a penny.
Well, that's very good, Norman, but the problem isn't my money. You see, Sarah has inherited a major stake in Ocelot Motors. That's why she can afford to divorce me.
I see. Well, if she's not after your money, it doesn't matter if she leaves you, does it? And if I were your wife...
Listen, I am only MP for Halton Price because Sarah's father controls the local Conservative Party. The second we divorce, I'll be out of my arse, with about as much chance of finding another seat as a deaf kid in a game of musical chairs.
I see. It's serious, then. And I suppose you want me to come up with some ingenious solution.
And I suppose you want me to continue paying for your sex change treatment.
Has she actually got the shares in her possession yet?
I don't think so. Her uncle died abroad, so there's all the legal formalities to go through.
Good. Give you a little time.
To do what?
It's obvious. Destroy the company.
Look, drink a bottle of gin and have a very hot bath. And if that doesn't work, then call me tomorrow. No, of course I don't love you. Grow up, Victoria. Where have you been? I sent you to the library an hour ago. Have you been wasting your time voting?
Sorry, Alan. The photocopy machine broke down and I had to wait for the man.
Well, you should have copied it out by hand then, shouldn't you? Come on, give.
Look, Alan, I'm not your servant, you know.
If you were, I would have sacked you years ago.
Do you think I could have a drink?
I don't see why not. Just make sure you're back from the bar by 11. I might need you. Let's see. Ocelot. Company report 1986-87. Profits up 34%. Dividends up 42%. Exports up 61%. Workforce up by 3,500.
Makes you proud to be British, doesn't it?
Shut up, Piers. No strike agreement extended for a further 5 years. God, it'd be easy to bankrupt Jeffrey Archer.
Listen to this. The latest Ocelot 3.8 turbo supercat built at their new £200 million factory in Bramall is a world beater. My test model sleekly muscled its way from 0 to 60 in 7.5 seconds. Gosh, I wish I had one.
What are you talking about?
Oh, no. It's not me. It's Annika Rice, writing in this issue of Yappy Car. I wish I was a Yappy. What does Yappy actually mean, Alan?
Yuppie, Piers, is short for useless pill. So you are one already, aren't you? Congratulations.
Don't be so spiteful, Alan.
Wait a minute. Where did you say that Ocelot built their new factory?
Not telling you.
Ow! There it is. Bramall. Bramall? But that's in Cribbins's constituency. Piers, you're a genius. Come on, we're going to break into the Prime Minister's office. Right.
No. I draw the line there, Alan. I know you talk me into all sorts of things because I'm frightened of you, but I'm more frightened of her.
Piers, if you help me, I'll get you one of those new Ocelot supercats.
Really? Do you promise?
No. But I promise that if you don't help me, I won't get you one. Piers! Stop tiptoeing along like Wee Willie Winky. It's all right, we're not trespassing.
Yet?
Look, it's perfectly safe. She's in Washington for the state unveiling of Reagan's new nose. What if we bump into someone else? This time of night, we're not going to bump into anybody.
Where do you gentlemen think you're going?
We're not going anywhere near the Prime Minister's office, if that's what you're thinking.
We're just taking an evening stroll, drinking in the historic ambiance. Yes, well, I shall have to ask you to identify yourself, sir. Several ministerial offices on this floor. Can't be too careful.
I completely understand.
You're Alan Bastard.
Bastard.
You're the member who got that bill through arming us police, aren't you?
Indeed, I'm proud to say that it was I. And it wasn't an easy job. But I felt you chaps needed the tools to finish your work.
Yes, well, I'm a big fan of yours, sir. If I shook you by the hand, would it be a terrible liberty?
Yes, it would, but perhaps this once. And this is Mr. Fletcher Dervish, who helped draft the bill. Possibly the finest legal brain in this corridor at the moment.
Real honour, sir.
Oh, is it? Tell me, officer, do you find the gun makes a great deal of difference to your work?
Oh, revelation, sir, revelation. I mean, take last Saturday. A mate of mine on the Met was policing the Chelsea match. Some hooligan threw a bottle on the pitch, so he draws his piece and blows him all across the half-time scoreboard. A splat. Yeah, wasn't no trouble after that, sir. Oh, yes, you've done us bobbies a right favour. I mean, in this day and age, who needs a truncheon?
Right.
Though, the wife likes it, mine, when I'm on nights. Something for her to grab hold of. If she thinks she is an intruder.
Oh. Tell me, officer, since we're such kindred spirits, I wonder if you could do me a little favour.
If I can, sir.
Well, it's not really for me, it's for Mr. Fletcher Dervish. You see, he's never been inside a ministerial office, and unlike me, he's never likely to get the chance to do so. So, if you could just let him peek inside one, you know, need me anything grand, agriculture, fish and food, or, God, Northern Ireland even.
Well, I don't know, sir. I shouldn't leave my post.
Well, I'll keep an eye out for you.
All right, Mr. Bastard, as it's you. Right, now, this particular part was structured in 1744. Around the corner here, we have a broom cupboard that was originally Lord Palmerston's closet.
Times the minister denies it.
And he will.
I have it here in black and blue. And on the Prime Minister's very own note paper. I quote, Mr. Speaker, my government fully supports the proposal of the Board of Ocelot Motors to de-unionise their factories and reduce wages by 30% to ensure price competitiveness into the next decade.
I don't know where the Honourable Member for Bramall obtained this ridiculous piece of misinformation.
And I'm not telling you, pal.
But it is clearly a forgery.
Mr. Speaker, the government quite clearly wants us to believe that it is a forgery. But I'm sure I speak for all members on this side of the House when I demand a full public inquiry.
No, not a public inquiry. Over 10 years. This isn't going badly enough, Piers.
Do I have a choice of colour?
What?
My new Ocelot supercat.
Oh, shut up. Shout outrageous, Piers. Outrageous, Piers!
But some public-spirited employee at Ocelot has had the decency to leak this letter to me, and I will not betray his trust.
Order. Order. Mr. Stark.
I will briefly yield to the honourable member for Halton Price, Mr. Speaker, because it's always interesting to hear the crypto-fascist ravings of the loony right. Although I doubt that even he can worm his way out of this scandalous conspiracy.
Order. Au contraire, Mr. Speaker. Which I translate as that's what you think for the benefit of the member for Bramall who probably never went to school. And I'm sure that I speak for all members of this side of the House when I say that we are sick and tired of this sort of lefty trot whinging. I mean, with the greatest respect, it is not as if the average car worker has the taste or intelligence to spend his outrageously high weekly pay packet on anything more worthwhile than pigeons and whippets and brown ale and oven-ready chips.
Mr. Speaker, that is outrageous. I myself am a member of the National Union of Car Workers, and I have the privilege to represent that body in this august chamber. But because of him, I shall demand that the Executive Committee recommend a secret ballot for industrial action to be taken unless the scumbag opposite does not withdraw that application.
Industrial action. Mr. Crippin's answer to everything. Here we are, dealing with a man whose family history shows that he's related to a very dubious member of the medical profession.
That's it, I shall demand a strike of all car workers in Britain as from Monday, unless Bastard withdraws that vicious slander.
Keep your hair on, Crippin.
Seen the Financial Times?
Of course.
The stock exchange has suspended dealing in Ocelot shares, so I suppose Sarah won't be divorcing you now.
So what?
Well, you did say you'd get me an Ocelot supercat if I helped you.
Well, you actually believed me.
Well, I did at the time. I suppose I'm really rather stupid.
Yes, you are, Piers. Very stupid. Very loyal.
There she is. It's super. Thank you, Alan. My pleasure. Oh, no, touching, please. I'm sorry I couldn't get you a black one, Piers, but they don't seem to be making very many at the moment. Well, go on, get in. Try to have the size.
The door won't open, Alan. Wonderful. That's lovely. You really didn't need to, you know.
Well, of course I did, Piers. You've been my loyal and devoted servant. It's the very least I can do.
I just don't know how to thank you.
Well, don't thank me. Thank Hertz. I gave him your credit card number. It's £150 a day, or £975 for the whole week.
You bastard, Alan.
The start.